So who's coming into your country? I'm talking about Canada. What is going on, folks? We're going to do a follow-up on a video we did the other day called We Are Done. So long, Canada. 111,042 people have left Canada in early 2025. That's Q1 of 2025. And a majority of people are Europeans that came to Canada to build the country, to facilitate the infrastructure, to build the infrastructure, to expand the infrastructures. Italy, France, Germany, all these people that came, Portugal, Greece, all these people that came to build Canada in the 60s, 70s, and 80s are now leaving and going back to Europe in huge numbers. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up at the beginning of this video is because people in Canada are celebrating in the comments that we need more people to go back and we need more people to leave Canada, but these people are leaving voluntarily back to Europe because they're done with Canada. The ones that built it, maintained it, know how to fix it. Once the European goes, you can say bye-bye to your country. But people are celebrating like the Ewoks won the moon of Endor. In the comments saying that, thank God we need more people to leave. But who is leaving? Watch that video to find out who is leaving your country. Today, let's look at who's coming in that's going to maintain everything for you guys. So Carney talked about immigration. He has emphasized on the influx, around 4 million coming in the next few years. So obviously it's going to strain the they have to compensate. I'll tell you straight up. Canadian proper can't afford to get into their own real estate because of Chinese money laundering since 2010, since the Vancouver Model. Once Chinese brought in they're saying $2.2 to $2.6 trillion from coast to coast of Canada, Canadians can't compete with money laundering. That's why governments had to do first-time home buyer loans in 2016, first-time home buyer loans in 2019, because the Canadian proper couldn't get into their own markets. And because of civil unrest was going to spark, they pulled the trigger on a pandemic, like we told you over 20 times before 2020, 2019, and 2018. We were telling you they have to shut this down. A lot of governments got on board with this. Pull the trigger. Divide your families. Now let's go into what's happening here. So now they want to fix this housing problem by just pouring people in. And we're seeing oversupply of real estate on the markets that nobody could afford to touch. And a lot of people, Canadians, will lose. The ones that competed with the Chinese money laundering will lose everything. So much for foreign investing, eh, guys? Okay, so temporary residents. Temporary residents include students, workers, and visitors. So this is Q1 2025. So everyone's pointing out that Q1 2025, January to March, Canada issued 834,010 approvals for new temporary resident permits, including 96,015 study permits, 186,805 work permits, and 273,990 visitor visas. Now, here's the thing, 186,000 work permits. So this is what the Canadian website's telling us. I know a lot of Canadian proper, lots, born and raised, educated, and can speak English, that can't get a job here. They won't get a job. But they're bringing 186,000 in Q1 of this year to come and work. And then non-resident arrivals, StatsCan reports travel entries, non-immigrant status. So top 10 source countries that are coming in from January through March 2025. So we got India, 382,000. We got Nigeria, 104,000. China, 100,000. Mexico, 59,000. Iran, 49,000. Somalia, 38,000. And then Ukraine, 33,110. So I'm looking at Ukraine, 33,110 make up 4%, and there's an NC beside it. NC. So I call back a source. What does NC mean? Non-Christian. So if you're non-Christian, so they're being smart applying to move to Canada, they're not Christian. This way they won't get rejected, right? Pakistan, 31,355. And then for some bizarro reason, Colombia, 27,165. And then others, 106,000. Colombia doesn't make any sense because it's really fixing itself up, and a lot of people are moving to Colombia from Western countries. I don't know why Colombia is sitting at 27,165 from January to March of 2025. So let me know in the comments what's going on. So this is roughly what the numbers we're getting here. They're not 100% on target, but that's what we're getting here. And in May 2025, there were 894,200 non-resident arrivals alone, contributing to around, here's where it gets fishy, 4.8 million total international entries. 4.8 million total international entries versus via air and automobile that month. So 4.8 million people came into Canada that month. That's contributing to the 894,000, giving you a total of 4.8 million coming into Canada. So summary, January 1st to April /May 2025. Permanent residents, 132,000 from January to April. Temporary resident approvals, 834,000 Q1 alone. And international arrivals, 4.8 million in the month of May alone. And we're seeing a lot of, so the number one country where these people are coming, visiting from, are the United States by car. Majority of people come over by car, visit family. So 2.1 million of those arrivals are Americans. But then it goes back to that video we made, you guys, about how a majority of Chinese living and Chinese nationals living in America are selling all their property of already laundered money there and moving to Canada because they don't feel safe in America being a Chinese. And we covered this already. And the Canadian government is grinning ear to ear with that money coming in to support Canada's ailing housing market. So we got thousands of them. There's anywhere from 160. We already made the video citing roughly a couple of hundred a day to 1,000 a day moving in to Canada and just getting, here's your paperwork. Take the paper. We love take the paper. Oh, you're from Ireland, are you? Eh? Get out of here. But no, you're from China. Take the paper. So that's what's happening here. I want to make that really clear for you guys. What's happening? So the United States that are coming in are a small percentage of the people coming in are Chinese nationals escaping America because they don't feel safe anymore. And again, the money's already been laundered through there. They could sell their properties and investments and bring it up to Canada. These travelers are not necessarily people settling. Permanent migrations. 132,000 people became PRs in the first 4 months of 2025. Temporary stays, 834,000. New permits issued in that same period. And travelers, millions entered as visitors or returnees, but not all remain long-term. That's the key part right there. Not all remain long-term. So this is what the government's telling you from 2024. Top 10 countries by permanent residents. So India, 427,000. Ethiopia, 34,000. China, 229,000. This is 2024 people. Cameroon, 21,900. Nigeria, 20,400. Eritrea, 16,000. Afghanistan, 12,000. Pakistan, 31,000. Iran, 11,000. Uzbekistan, 9,940. And these are the top 10 that account for 80.6%. That's 2024 that was coming in. And these are the people that you don't have to worry about. If you're living in Canada, I'm going to give you a list of people you don't have to worry about because they're not coming here. They're not being approved. And they're not coming to bother you here in Canada. Botswana saw 2 approvals. North Korea, 2 approvals. Luxembourg, 6 approvals. Malawi, 6 approvals. Gambia, 6 approvals. Montserrat, Iceland, 59 approvals by 59 to 67 approvals by each. Aruba, Guadeloupe, Puerto Rico, Curacao, less than 5 approvals each. Isle of Man, Jersey, Reunion, Saint-Pierre, Malikinen, Northern Ireland, each under 8 approvals. Luxembourg under 7 approvals. Denmark included Scandinavia Group, collectively by Denmark alone, 17 approvals. Finland, Sweden, Norway, each under 64 approvals. So Finland, Sweden, and Norway each under 64 approvals. This is for Q1 2025. Austria 23, Belgium and Switzerland around 2 people got approved. So you don't have to worry about those people coming into your country because they are clamping down. Canada closed immigration for Europeans back in 1993 when they officially shut it down to open it to the rest of the world because the governments at the time felt that Canada was built up enough by the European expansion that we could start bringing in people to fill the banking jobs, the airports, working for the government, because obviously the people that built those buildings, like my dad, killed himself working in the construction industry to build Canada. And I'm not talking about townhomes, building banks, worked on the Air Canada project, worked on the Sky Dome project. We're talking really build Canada. Their children are not allowed to work in those places, those facilities. Their children are allowed to clean the facilities and maintain the facilities. You got 40 people working in a bank, you get a leak, and no one knows how to fix it because there's no European there. They're not welcome there. They're welcome to clean and fix the bank, but they're not allowed to keep their hands clean, right? Because that's for Chinese nationals and Hindus and everybody else that came here after the fact. That's who's coming into your country, guys. Don't forget to watch my previous video. People are celebrating the fact that all these people are leaving Canada, but it's the people that built Canada and worked towards expanding it even further. Yeah, everyone's going to yell at me. The Scottish were 1800s. Yeah, the Irish, I'm talking about 70s, 80s, and 90s, guys. The people that are still alive today that are returning back to Europe, right? And let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Look forward to reading your comments. Mike Martin's here. I have spoken.